Hey, you remember back in the days when you could speculate about a film, what was going to happen in the plot, which characters were going to be in it, basically until it was released in theaters? Guess what? Fuck that, obviously, because that's what Marvel's telling you when they released the whole plot of Thor Ragnarok, basically.
Or be the latest victim of the planet's most notorious outlaw. The one-man army that nearly toppled Crown City. Prepare yourselves for... It's no one that is, no one that is. Explicit.
Critics. Explicit. Critics. Explicit. Critics. Explicit. Critics.
Now, some of you guys will think I'm a Marvel fanboy just because we like the MCU over here. But I will say right now, I do not agree with this decision. I think it's going to detract from the movie for a lot of people. But for me, as long as the characterization is good enough, how you feel during the movie, maybe it won't. Because I already knew most of the stuff was going to happen. But I will say, I didn't really want to do a video. I would have rather played video games, but I know you guys are probably listening to some dumb motherfuckers that don't know what the fuck they're talking about. So I was like, whatever, I'll do a video. At least I know a little bit about this and I'm excited about it because this is my most anticipated Marvel movie coming out. Even more than the first Infinity War. So I'm super excited for this because the stuff that they're going to implement from Planet Hulk, the storyline. You need to go read that. It's a fucking great comic, and that's not just because I'm a Hulk mark. It's a great comic. If you can't read it, if you really can't read it, go watch the animated film because that will at least give you the Cliff Notes version. So watch that before Thor Ragnarok comes out and we'll see how it compares when it comes out. But it seems like they're pretty much deviating from it. They're going to take some core aspects. I'll talk more about that with these details. One thing I did want to say before I get into all this is the planet that Hulk is going to be doing all this gladiator shit on. I don't know if it's going to be called Sakaar yet. I'm going to read in these details. But the Grandmaster in the Planet Hulk animated movie is a cameo behind the Red King, who is the actual ruler of Sakaar in the comics. So I just thought that was dope because he's obviously going to be the head of these games. So they obviously didn't plan that, but I just thought it was funny because when I saw that cameo in the animated film, I was like, that's dope because the Grandmaster does do that type of shit. We got plot details today. We got some pics yesterday. I didn't really get a chance to look at them. I'll look at them during this video and make some comments. But first, I want to read a little excerpt of this EW shit that's been dropping all the stuff. So this issue is all on Thor Ragnarok. All the pics are Thor Ragnarok, so they have a whole article that's coming out on Friday. So if you want to know more about it, I'll just wait till Friday. They're gonna drop shit every day till then. So I'm really coming in before I should, but it doesn't matter. So I'm gonna read this and I'll give my opinion after. What the fuck? Alright, so there is a lot of shit to talk about and I do not want to make this video that long. So I'm going to tackle this in little bite-sized pieces. So basically, yes, Loki's impersonating Odin. You saw that at the end of Thor: The Dark World. So obviously that's going to cause some problems when Thor goes back to Asgard. However, it says his lax governing leads to the re-emergence of an imprisoned Hela. I don't know how the fuck they imprisoned Hela, because if you know anything about her, she ain't getting imprisoned. But maybe this is one of those like Hades things. She's imprisoned to fucking rule hell. This ain't hell proper, this is hell with one L. So maybe she's imprisoned there to rule the realm, but I don't know why the fuck they would have her in prison because who the fuck is running hell then? But, alright. Thor's initial encounter with Hela gets him blasted to Sakaar, which is dope. That's straight from the comics, not the Thor part, but Sakaar is straight from the comics. This was the first confirmation that they're actually going to call the planet Sakaar. So that's straight from Planet Hulk. It says it's ruled by the Grandmaster. That's way different than it was in the comics. It was the Red King in the comics, and there was nothing fucking charming about him. They say Grandmaster is charming. Yo, this Red King was a motherfucking bitch. So that's definitely new. But I don't have a problem with it because the Grandmaster is way more powerful than the Red King is, and he does do these type of big game shit and has people go against people in gladiator matches and shit. So I'm alright with that, especially because Jeff Goldblum's playing him. That's gonna be dope. So Valkyrie, a tough, hard-drinking warrior, is there. She's probably fighting in the games, or maybe she's taking the place, if you've read Planet Hulk, maybe she's taking the place of Kyra, who Hulk ends up marrying, basically in Planet Hulk. I don't think she's going to take that role, but it kind of seems like she is, because she's taking him to the Grandmaster. But maybe I don't know why she'd be helping the Grandmaster, but whatever. So that's weird to me because it doesn't even say she's Asgardian. I hope she is in the movie. That kind of deviates from how she was in the comics, so I'm hoping she's Asgardian. They don't just throw in some random race in there. Thor's a bit of a fanboy for Valkyrie. That makes sense because the Valkyries, they are very well known in Asgard. They protect. They're all women, so it would be kind of a fanboy moment. She's also mad powerful. She ain't a little bitch. She's more powerful than Sif. If you've seen her in the other two Thor movies, she's way more powerful. She's not equivalent to Thor, but she's kind of like Thor, as she has even more powers than regular Asgardians. So Thor is forced to becoming a gladiator. That's alright. I really, really hope they use obedience discs like they did in Planet Hulk, which was basically they put that shit in you. You can't take it off. You can't rip it out. If you do anything against what they're telling you to do, it will fry your brain. And it will cause you excruciating pain the whole time you're trying to go against whatever they're telling you to do. I hope they do that. If not, I could see the Grandmaster just basically making everybody do this shit because he is powerful enough to do that. But I already think that they're not going to do enough Planet Hulk stuff in this movie. So I would like them to have obedience discs. So Sakaar's most popular and successful gladiator is the Hulk. This doesn't really make sense. They're going to have to fill in how he got there because at the end of Age of Ultron, you had no indication that he's going into space. And even if he did, I mean, Sakaar in the comics is fucking galaxies away from the Earth. So I don't know. They're going to have to explain that. They can't just have Thor show up there, always sees the Hulk. Oh, how did he get here? They need to do some kind of backstory on that. I really do like what fucking Ruffalo said though about Hulk, because he says he's much more of a character than the Green Rage Machine you've seen in the Avengers movies. He's got a swagger. He's like a god. That reminds me of what you would kind of describe the Planet Hulk as. Even though he was kind of a fucking dick, he was kind of a bitch to everybody, he was justified in all his actions. And he slowly turned around and helped everybody. But he was intelligent. He wasn't like Hulk smash. Nah, he knew what the fuck he was doing. He was smart and shit. And he did have kind of a swagger, I guess you could say it. It's more like he just didn't give a fuck. And it wasn't like not giving a fuck because he doesn't know what he's doing. He knew what he was doing and he didn't give a fuck. He's like a god. That makes sense because he has godlike powers. So once Hulk and Thor unite, which obviously they're going to unite. It's been teased as a buddy cop film and shit in space. But I'm thinking if Thor ain't have his hammer during the fight, it's kind of weak because the Planet Hulk could smash Thor. And Thor, is way more powerful than Hulk, regular. But Planet Hulk could fuck Thor up. And without his hammer, that's not really a fair fight. So even if fucking Thor takes that L, it's kind of like, oh yeah, but he didn't have his hammer. So they're gonna take this road trip and go on, I don't know, to go save Asgard from Ragnarok, or the whole universe actually. They're saying a lot of shit about the humor, which ain't really a red flag, but if you're not a fan of the MCU humor, I feel like you're definitely not gonna like this one, because this one is almost being teased as like the biggest comedy. Everything I've heard about this, comedy, oh, it's comedic abilities and shit, which I'm alright with as long as they have some fucking emotional moments and some actually high stakes, which I heard they have. But it definitely seems a little bit out of place with Thor Ragnarok. But at this point, I trust Marvel, and I trust Taika Waititi because he's a fucking great director. They're gonna see a little bit of Doctor Strange, Benedict Cumberbatch on Earth. I'm guessing that will be a very short segment of the movie, because all they really need to do is find Odin, because I don't know why the fuck Loki would send him to Earth or banish him to Earth or whatever the fuck, but okay. And these events will set up Marvel's Phase 3 Infinity War, which obviously makes sense. Almost every movie has some type of setup. It will stand on its own. So it's kind of be like Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one. Like, it stood on its own, but it set up the whole Thanos shit. So I don't know if we're gonna see Thanos, but this would be definitely the movie to show him at least a little bit more. So we see him before Infinity War. I'd be alright with that. So now I'm gonna look at some of the picks EW released. See what it's looking like. Alright, there's 10 picks. I'm not gonna look at all 10 of them. Alright, so this is basically our first look at Tessa Thompson as Valkyrie. She looks dope. I was definitely a fan when they cast her, because I love when motherfuckers get pissed off. Oh, she's so white in the comics, why do you have to make her black? Well, first off, she's light-skinned. So get the fuck over it, first off. She's a great actress. If you haven't seen her in Creed, she's great in that. She was great in Dear White People. Even that movie was pretty whack. Hope the show's a lot better. But she's a great actress. I guarantee you she'll be a badass in this fucking movie. She'll be great. We got this Thor rocking the fucking short hair. So like unworthy Thor. But see, I don't have a problem with this hair at all. I kind of like it, but come on, like we already did the unworthy Thor shit in the first Thor. If they do that again, that's gonna be pretty fucking whack. I'm gonna tell you right now. If he becomes unworthy again, that's gonna take me out of the movie. I will say this though, if he just gets that shit jacked, if he gets his hammer jacked and he can't get it back for whatever reason, somebody's more powerful, or I don't know, for some reason he can't get it, Grandmaster locks it up or some shit, that will be alright. Because I don't want him to lose his power and all that shit. But just don't make it like the first one where he's not worthy to pick it up. Just make it where it's locked away, he doesn't have access to it. That would be dope. Alright, Hela. She looks hard. That's dope. You don't see her with her headdress, but and some new news came out today that she says she can manifest weapons from different parts of her body. She wasn't going to give away what parts of her body, but she did say the headdress can become a fucking weapon, so that's dope. Hela's a monster, so she's going to be a force to be reckoned with. Who knows if she'll be a good villain as far as the whole movie, because they don't really give any of the villains besides Loki enough screen time for you to like them or feel for them, so who knows if it will end up good. But Cate Blanchett is a fucking amazing actress, one of the best actresses ever. So I was fucking hyped as fuck when she got this part. But she looks dope. Damn. Okay, so this looks super familiar if you've read Planet Hulk. So after they do a few gladiator battles, Hulk and his Warbound, basically the people that he's fighting with, on a team with, because they survived the training grounds, which was called the Maw. So they're all on a team. This reminds me of when they win one of the matches, they get a huge ass banquet. This shit literally looks like it's taken from the fucking comics. All you see is Tessa Thompson, which makes me think maybe they're gonna reinvent the Warbound and she's gonna be one of them, Thor's gonna be one of them. But I don't know if they'll mention Warbound, because then that's gonna insinuate that this World War Hulk, but they ain't gonna do that. That's dope though. That looks cool. Kind of looks like the cantina scene from Star Wars, but I'm alright with it. Jeff Goldblum as the Grandmaster. Yeah, he's definitely looking like he's fucking related to the Collector, I can tell you that. I hope they show his powers, because he is massively powerful. You couldn't tell it from that, but he's first off, he's older than like they even can count, but he is mad powerful. So him running these games, him controlling the planet is totally plausible. I have no problem with it. All I will say is that means they're kind of taken away from the fucking Planet Hulk storyline, because you have to have that redeeming factor of Hulk taking over the planet, becoming king. He ain't gonna take over the planet with the fucking Grandmaster there. I mean, Grandmaster might like crown him, oh, you're the gladiator winners or some shit, but they're gonna have to change everything, which I'm not a big fan of, because I really think Planet Hulk is one of the best comics I've ever read. And I know I might seem biased because I love Hulk, but no, it's so great. It's a great arc. There's so many emotional points in it. It's just a great story, especially if you don't like Hulk, you'll love it. Damn. That is fucking dope. If I'm right, this little disc that they're fucking sitting on, Tessa Thompson and the director, that's taken straight out of Planet Hulk. I'll put a picture up right now. That's basically what the announcer for the Gladiator games fucking hovers on, flies on above the combat, and like play-by-plays it. Basically says what's happening, who's getting killed, what they're going against. So that would be dope if they took that straight out of the comics. I would mark for that shit. If I see that in the movie, that's exactly what it looks like. I'm thinking that's what it is. So even once Hulk and his Warbound broke out of the games, they rode on these to get across, because not all of them can travel like Hulk, just jumping far distances. So a lot of them traveled on these things across the whole planet and shit. So yeah, those pics were dope. They gave us a little look into it, but these aren't post-production photos. These are like pre-production, no effects or anything, so they look cool. I will say, some people could probably say they look corny, but yo, this is going for some outlandish shit. You've seen the fucking logo of the movie. When I first saw the logo, I'm like, what the fuck? But it's cool. I'm sure it'll fit. Marvel knows what they're doing. The first two Thor movies, they were definitely divisive, because the first one I liked a lot. The second one I even liked a lot, but the second one, it was pretty garbage. Overall movie, it was pretty garbage, but I liked it a lot. So who knows? I'm not really feeling the whole reinventing everything unless they really, really know what they're doing, because that just seems like they're kind of fucking retconning all the shit beforehand. If not, if they can fit it in the story, kind of like Thor 2 did with Thor 1, just kind of built on the whole Asgard aspect and shit, that'd be alright. But I'm totally fine if they do not spend a lot of time on Asgard. I would love it if most of the time it was on Sakaar, but I don't know what else they can do besides fight. So I just want to go through the main cast members, give a few details about them, what I know so far, if you guys didn't already know. So Benedict Cumberbatch, Doctor Strange, he's only probably going to be in a few scenes, a few minutes in the movie, and now be on Earth, those scenes looking for Odin. Then we got Tom Hiddleston as Loki. I'm glad he's coming back. Some people might think he's played out now because he's been in a bunch of Marvel movies, but he's not. He gets better in every film. I really liked him in Thor, The Dark World. He's probably the highlight of that movie. Definitely not Thor. But I don't know if he's gonna go to Sakaar with them, but he'll definitely be there for the Asgard portion. And then Tom Hiddleston in an interview recently said that he's gonna be with Thor on the whole buddy cop shit after they get out of the Sakaar, so maybe he does go there with them. That would be dope. See, that makes me think, so damn, motherfucker, damn. So we're gonna get fucking Hulk, Valkyrie, Thor, Loki as the Warbound. That would be hard. That would be dope. Then we got Idris Elba as Heimdall, so you already know that. That would be cool if he got sent to Sakaar too. That would be a hard ass Warbound. That'd be dope. We got Kate Blanchett as Hela, who's the ruler of the underworld, Hell. But a lot of people are speculating that she's probably the MCU personification of death, which would be dope. I mean, Tom Hiddleston in an interview said that she's the goddess of death. That's basically the closest thing you can be to actually being death. So, if Thanos starts falling in love with her, or already is, he's enamored, he's obsessed with her, that really makes sense for the whole Infinity War shit. So if we see her again, that would be cool. So Chris Hemsworth is Thor, you already know everything about him. Anthony Hopkins, he's returning as Odin. I've always liked him as Odin, they haven't given him really a lot to deal with so far, but that's cool, at least he's showing up. Carl Urban, Aomir himself, is going to play Scourge, which nobody knows what Scourge is, but he's an executioner. If you've seen Enchantress, he's basically her bodyguard. He always follows her, protects her, is in love with her. So that would be dope. I don't know how they're going to make him look because Executioner is a big motherfucker. And I'm not saying Carl Urban ain't big, but this ain't no Judge Dredd. This is like 3 times that. So then we got Tessa Thompson as Valkyrie. Again, she's a dope actress. I'm sure she'll do great in this movie. I feel like if there's gonna be a lot of humor, she'll probably be the one she ain't cracking jokes. She's serious. Because that reminds me of Valkyrie. She's more serious, badass, so that's probably what she'll be. Mark Ruffalo, Bruce Banner's Hulk. I do want to say this, spoilers. Well, this whole shit is spoilers. In the Planet Hulk storyline, Bruce Banner shows up in one shot. And it's right before he fucks the shit out of his new wife. Because she wanted to know who he truly was. So Hulk had to show Banner was inside him. I would be totally cool with almost no Mark Ruffalo in this film, even though I love Mark Ruffalo, if it was just a tiny bit of Bruce Banner, just like in a scene like that or something, right before he's about to hit those skins, bust a nut. But I would like it if he did the motion capture for Hulk. I really hope they give him a voice because he spoke in complete sentences and everything in Planet Hulk, so they really need to do that, especially if he got the swagger and he acts like a god. You ain't having no god doing just grunts and shit, so that would be cool. Then we got Jeff Goldblum as a Grandmaster. So he's going to be running the show, at least on Sakaar. And Hela's going to be running the show everywhere else, I guess. I do want to say though, even though this looks like it's just going to be tons of comedy and shit, Tom Hiddleston did say that they picked Ragnarok for a reason. He said that there's huge stakes in it, and Ragnarok basically means like the end of the universe. So if they can balance the humor with those kind of stakes, it's gonna be a tough job, but I'm all right with it. This definitely would have been my first pick to have like a full-on comedy movie, especially with my boy Hulk in there, but I think Marvel does humor pretty well. There is a lot of corny shit, but I don't think this will be one of them. I think this kind of stuff that audiences aren't used to seeing is more funny than regular shit, so I think they have a lot of potential for comedy as well. Overall, there's tons of shit to talk about. I mean, is fucking Hela gonna have the Soul Stone, which is like the last remaining Infinity Stone that we haven't seen in the MCU? Maybe. That would be dope if she had it and Thanos wanted it, and at the same time he's getting hooked on her and shit. I'm still really looking forward to this movie. I mean, I can't say I was like, oh damn, they're gonna have a bunch of comedy. Yes, but with this director, how great he is at comedy, I'm alright with it. Because Marvel has the reins when it comes to like huge decisions. And yes, Thor 2 was a fucking mess, but I think they learned from that shit. So Feige ain't just gonna let him go off the reins like, hey, yeah, do whatever you want. We want this to be 100% comedy. So you know there's about to be some hard shit in there too. I will say I'm not a huge fan of it looks like how much they're not gonna really incorporate the Planet Hulk storyline. Oh yeah, they're going to Sakaar. Oh yeah, they're in gladiator battles. But that was literally like maybe 10% of the Planet Hulk storyline. Especially from this, it looks like they will never do World War Hulk. Which, whatever. Planet Hulk was better in World War Hulk. But Planet Hulk is such a good comic. Go read that shit. I just wish they would have been able to do a full movie on it, but because the whole Universal has the rights to a standalone movie, they can't. So I'm glad that they're at least putting it in there because they're like, oh, this could fit in with the Thor story, so I'm alright with that. With the cast, it looks like it's gonna be like the Civil War without the Civil War people because there's mad people in this shit. Especially because Doctor Strange is in there. Loki, all of them. So if I missed anything, let me know down in the comments. I just tried to hit on the main issues, all the news that's came out recently. But let me know if I missed anything. What you're excited about, what you're looking forward to, if you think it's about to be whack, if you think it's just gonna be like, oh, another Marvel movie, formula shit. We'll catch you this weekend with the Kong Skull Island review. We're excited for that, even though I haven't heard too many great things. It's cool. We're just gonna still bring you that raw opinion. If we thought it was whack, we thought it was whack. Catch you next time.
From the window to my balls to the other window to your mom.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead and hit that subscribe. We got our videos over here on the sides. Check it out.
Keep them out.
Keeps it.